is on.
Yeah.
Gbidi, 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 is on.
Yeah.
Is on come me out. Are you me? Tell you. A press briefing by the Ijaw Youth Council, IYC worldwide. IYC warns against distractions to Tantita's operations, urges FG to sustain gains in pipeline security. The Ijaw Youth Council IYC worldwide, as a formal socio-cultural and advocacy organization representing the interests of the Ijaw people and the broader Niger Delta region, deems it necessary to address recent developments and narratives surrounding the pipeline surveillance security contract in the Niger Delta. We state unequivocally that no individual or group should be allowed to distract or undermine the good works and measurable achievements recorded by Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited in the ongoing fight against oil theft and pipeline vandalism. The Council urges the federal government under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to remain steadfast and not fall for the gimmicks and orchestrated campaigns of those that never mean well for the nation. Eyes on!
Yeah.
Before the engagement of High Chief Dr. Government Owezi Ekpenukolo, popularly known as Tompolo, and the subsequent involvement of Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited in the pipeline surveillance security contract, Nigeria's economy was bleeding profusely due to unprecedented levels of crude oil theft, illegal refining, and pipeline sabotage. The situation has reached a critical point, threatening national revenue, and the Nigerian economy was wobbling. However, with the strategic intervention of Tantita under the leadership of Tompolo, there has been a remarkable turnaround. Oil theft has significantly reduced, production levels have improved, and confidence in the security of oil and gas assets has been restored. These achievements are not only speculative, they are evident and verifiable. The pipeline surveillance contract under the chairmanship of Tompolo has been notably benevolent, inclusive, and magnanimous. It has successfully carried along stakeholders across the Niger Delta region, cutting across ethnic, community, and state lines. Thousands of Niger Delta youths and women, particularly, in fact, Niger Deltans have been gainfully employed, thereby reducing restiveness and promoting peace in the region. It is important to emphasize that the capacity, experience, and grassroots intelligence network of Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited cannot be rivaled. Having Tompolo oversee the protection of oil and gas facilities remain a strategic advantage and a blessing to the federal government. Eyes on!
Yeah.
Any attempts to tamper with this arrangement without due consideration of its successes may lead to avoidable setbacks. The Ijaw Youth Council IYC worldwide wishes to categorically state that the calls for the decentralization of the pipeline surveillance security contract from Tantita are neither genuine nor patriotic. Rather, they are calculated attempts to derail the progress already made and to reintroduce instability into the system. We further advise those agitating for such unnecessary decentralization to channel their energies into other productive ventures, as there are numerous opportunities and sectors within the Nigerian economy where they can legitimately contribute. They should seek areas where they can key in meaningfully, rather than distracting Nigerians with baseless and self-serving demands that do not advance national interests. It must also be placed on record that Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited is not only company handling pipeline surveillance in the Niger Delta. However, its coordination structure already reflects inclusivity, as individuals from various states and communities are actively engaged in the protection of pipelines under its framework. Therefore, the so-called agitation for inclusion is both misleading and unnecessary, as Tantita has been implementing this model since the inception of the contract.
Yeah.
The Council strongly believes that by now, the federal government should be considering the expansion and institutionalization of the pipeline surveillance contract with Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited on a more permanent basis. The company has proven itself to be tested, trusted, and results-driven. In light of the foregoing, the Ijaw Youth Council IYC Worldwide hereby passes a resounding vote of confidence on Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited and its leadership. We affirm that the Tantita Security Services has operated responsibly over the years and remains a tested and trusted company with a proven track record of excellence. We express our full satisfaction with its operations, particularly in combating oil theft, fostering peace in the Niger Delta, restoring aquatic life, and empowering local communities. Its contribution to national economic stability and regional development are undeniable. We reiterate that Tompolo remains the best man for this critical assignment, and his leadership continues to deliver tangible results. Let it be clearly stated that stakeholders across the Niger Delta region are adequately carried along. Any contrary narrative should be disregarded. We therefore call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the federal government to remain focused, protect the integrity of the existing framework, and resist any pressure that may jeopardize the progress recorded so far. Eyes on!
Yeah.
In conclusion, the Ijaw Youth Council IYC Worldwide makes it abundantly clear that any individual or group criticizing Tompolo and Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited, despite the enormous sacrifices and contributions made towards national stability and economic recovery, is acting on their own accord. Such persons do not present, nor do they have the mandate of the Ijaw people or the wider Niger Delta region. The unity, stability, and economic prosperity of Nigeria must not be sacrificed on the altar of selfish interests.